What is up, guys? My name is Andrew and welcome back to Space Engineers. This is episode number 15. We're about halfway through the season now. It's been a long season, actually. I think it's because I haven't been releasing videos as much as I was before in the previous seasons. But anyways, welcome back to season 3, episode number 15. Today, or last episode rather, we built this tram thing, or we tried to, but we had some major issues. The main one being that this thing really didn't like these turns, and in fact, it would even flip sometimes upside down or even sideways on the turns, making it not able to continue. So I've had a lot of thought about that, and I've come up with a couple of new designs with you guys' help in the comments. There were a lot of comments helping me out, so thank you very much for that. And I think they all contributed somewhat equally to what's hopefully going to be the final design of this thing. But before we do that, there's one other point of order that we need to do. Well, more like 2 points of order. Let's go to the surface and I'll tell you what is going on. Ooh, that did not land like I thought it would. I guess this is where it lands now because we did all the pressurization stuff. We never changed this so that it actually lands properly. We're probably going to need to go in here and make this look a little bit nicer. That's something we need to do in the future. But anyways, what we're doing now is some of you guys gave a really good recommendation, and that is to put a console block with the hologram of the Wilbinator for the grave. So rip Wilbinator, aka Mini Miner, you were a noble ship. And then on top, I think, or somewhere, I'm not entirely sure actually where we want to put this. Maybe we could have it kind of come out a little bit. So let's grab our tools here. If I cut this off right here, cut that one, and then cut this one, we could do something like this. All right, there we go. Welcome to the new grave of the Wilbinator. New and improved. I've added these nice little flooring tiles here, this nice little side thing, and then these windows on the side as well. And that's really the only reason these side things are there, is to support those windows. But you know, it makes it look kind of cool. So we've got the actual Wilbinator right here. You can actually see stuff, although it's missing the lights, I think. But those were added later. So this is like the original OG Wilbinator. It actually also has the bottom thing. It doesn't have the back one, so that's interesting. But then we have the sign, and then we have the cross as well for the Wilbinator. So I think that's a nice little style to do. Anytime we lose a ship, we can do something like this. Have it built kind of like this. And maybe one day, hopefully not, but maybe one day we'll have like a littered area of these things. All right, next thing we're gonna do before we can build the rest of the tram is let's go back downstairs because we have a new patron, the first patron that is of the legend tier. And the reason that's so important is because the legend tier, one of the perks that you have is that you're added to the Hall of Patrons. Now before this, we've not actually had any of them, of the legends, but now we do. So we gotta make a Hall of Patrons, or a Hall of Legends rather, is what it's called. So let's make a Hall of Legends, and I was kind of thinking to put it over here. So kind of where we have nothing, we could just have a little Hall of Legends. And, you know, it wouldn't be that big. I don't expect that many legends. But just like a little room, you know, like a little tribute. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and build that. I think I'm not going to show it on the camera because I want to go and do most of the episode building the tram. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut to when this is complete, and then I'll show you around. 3, 2, 1, snap. All right, everybody. Without further ado, I give you the Hall of Legends with currently only one name. So the Hall of Legends, we have Frankie Boiled Egg as our first legend patron supporter, which is the 4th tier of those, if you want to go and check that out. And anyone who is one of those will be placed in here. Now, I've only got how many slots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know that we'll ever get to 7, but they're here if they are needed. Now, what another one of the perks is of that particular tier in Patreon is that I do a drawing. I don't know why. I've just felt like something that was fun to add. So I'll do a drawing of anything you want. So that's what this is for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the person's name, and then when I'm done with this drawing for him, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, put it up there. So it's going to be horrible, man. It's going to be like the cool name of the legend, and then a random drawing that's probably going to be really bad. But I think it'll be really cool. So Frankie Boiled Egg, our first legend, and plenty of room for more. The idea here is, by the way, some sort of plank floor, wood floors. That's what I was kind of going for. I got like a nice light yellow lighting, you know, golden rails for ultimate luxury. I got the clean glass, or clean, not glass, but clean textures, which were part of the texture thing they added a while ago. So yeah, what do you guys think of the room? I think it's pretty awesome. Oh, the ceiling doesn't look clean, man. 1 second. All right, just a quick coat of paint, and there it is. Looks much nicer, I think. So yeah, there's our Patreon room, or our legend room. Sorry, the Hall of Legends. I think the door probably needs to be redone. I need to find a way to get like a door that's only on that side, instead of like taking up the whole block, because that looks a little weird. But anyways, there it is. It's off in that little area. Let's move on to our tram. I want to get this idea done. Actually, you know what? Let me hop in here real quick. Actually, we're going to bring this ship over because it's been on here for a little bit. So we might be able to bring some materials. Ah, okay. We've totally just done that. I don't think it's a big deal though, because we didn't, I pressed P, but it didn't like unconnect everything else. So I think we're fine. Let's press this to turn our ship back on. I think we're fine. You know what? I was going to go and grab some more. Let me make sure real quick. How many steel plates do we have? 2,000? Yeah, we probably have enough. Okay. So one of the major changes that's going to happen is this track, some of you were saying, is too squarular. And so, hang on, let me land this thing. I'll show you what I mean. Please don't tip over all the way. Okay. You know what? It's probably fine. I think it's fine. Hang on. Okay, it's partially not fine, but you know what? Let's just land over here. That was dumb of me to think it would just be all good, all fine and dandy. No, come on. Go forward, and tilt, you fool. Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay, let's put this somewhere. Oh my God, I cannot fly today. Jesus, we've got to be missing something because this thing is having trouble. What are we missing? Are we missing a thruster? No, you. Oh, you're broken, aren't you? Oh, you're broken. All of this is broken. Well, we need to repair this then. That's why you were having trouble flying. Because you had broken pieces. Of course. We good? I think we're good. Okay, now it's going to be much easier. Alright, let's break these so we can get past. I'd like to go and park this in a nice safe area like over there, so it doesn't have to waste its fuel. Do you have landing gears actually? No, you don't. We never put landing gears on you. That might be another reason that you're having trouble. But you do have a flat surface, so if we land very softly like right here, maybe you'll stay. All right, there we go. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. Okay, so the major change that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be changing the track so that it goes from this single block thing that's going all the way to what's going to be, let me turn on my light, to what's going to be a triple block thing. So if you imagine this is what we have currently, we're going to eventually have this. Let me put this on both sides. The track's going to look like this. However, this is going to be like, the wheels are going to go on this one and on this one right here. They're not going to go in the center one like this. So the center will go all the way to the ceiling. That'll provide more support so that if something breaks, the whole track doesn't come down. So that actually eases my worries a little bit that this is going to be here supporting the thing. So it's going to be like that. And the wheel, so one of the main benefits of having it this way is no longer can it decide that it randomly wants to tilt over and it randomly wants to go sideways. It can't do that anymore because there's blocks in the middle. So if it tries to do that, it just won't be able to. So that's a plus. It's a huge plus actually. So we're still going to have the turns. That was another option that I had to consider, is that potentially we didn't want the turns because the turns make it very difficult. However, I think we have a solution for that too. Now, the main reason, let me hop in here and grab my hydrogen again. We'll just keep this on. It's fine. You know what? I'll turn off my thrusters. Hold on. Our thrusters are off. We now have 9 hours of power. So there we go. That's much better. So now we can hop in here. It's technically a mobile station I can refuel my stuff at. Basically, it's a hydrogen bottle that you just have to go to. Okay, so the main problem that we had here, well, we had a couple problems. One of the problems is that this thing was too rigid. So whenever it tried to turn, these wheels would try and force it to turn this way, but then these back wheels that are still going straight would try to keep it on the straight rail. So then it gets stuck between these two. So this would try to go that way, this one would try to go straight, and then it just can't go anywhere because it doesn't know what to do. So that was one of the main problems. The other main problem is that even if we were to remove this bit right here, like these side wheels right here, we'd still have a problem where the whole thing is too rigid. Even just these two wheels make it too rigid to go. And so you start to wonder, how the heck do they do this in real life? There are trains that are on the rails. How do they work such that they don't fall off the tracks, they don't have problems at curves? How do those things do it? Well, they use something called, what did you guys tell me? What's it called? Oh, you guys remember me in the comments. Something that is basically a pivot. So what they have is, like these two side wheels, this one right here and this one right here, would be on a pivot so that if they turn, they would both turn. So if this one right here were turning in, like for instance, that turn right there, the pivot would make it so that this wheel right here would automatically also turn with it. So you don't have the problem anymore that it's too rigid. Now it's actually kind of flowing around the rails. So that's what we're going to try, basically. Long story short, we have a thing that's way too rigid. We're going to try and make it much less rigid. In fact, we're going to completely scrap this and try and make the new design that's going to work a little bit better. So I guess we'll start with scrapping. Okay, welcome back. I have been building, and I have been building quite a bit. We built the whole turn here. That might be a little too skinny, I'm thinking. I might have goofed on that little turn piece right there, so I might go and fix that. But most of the turn is built. Just getting some hydrogen there. So yeah, the train will basically come through here and be like, meep, meep. And it'll go through the turn, everything will be awesome. And once again, hopefully that is not too bad. It looks, like I said, it looks a bit skinny there. But we could probably extend that if we really want to by like half a block on each side. And that should be fine going that way without having to rebuild the whole thing. All right, let's build the train because this is the fun part. This is the part that I've been looking forward to, is trying to get this this little train thing built. Okay, we're going to start with the same way we started before. Let's start with just a basic landing gear. And I think we're just going to put it in the middle. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters kind of how it faces, I guess. Yeah, right there. Just basically like right smack dab in the middle. And this is going to be the starting point for a train. Let me go and grab my hydrogen refueling station. I want to bring it a little closer to where we're working so that we don't have to fly so far for everything. Should have plenty of room under here to travel. Because we don't have a train yet. Alright, we'll put this kind of far in the back right here and just kind of let it... Oh, it's a little too far to the side there. Alright, turn it off. Actually, no, don't turn it off. Keep it on, but keep the thrusters powered down. Okay, so now we have this thing built right here. Let's go ahead and build the side. So I think we're going to start with the top wheels because that's what's going to form the main base for the whole thing. So top wheels first. We're not exactly in the center, I say. In fact, let's try to get exactly in the center because that will make our life a little bit easier at the start. Right there. That's relatively. Okay, we're going to come out on this side. We're falling. Come out on this side, and we're going to build these top wheels. I'm not going to include that much of this footage because you saw it all last episode. We're pretty much doing the same exact thing for the top part at least. So let's get that done. Okay, there we go. There are the wheels. Now, currently they're connected via the top, but we don't want that. We want them to be connected via the bottom because remember, the top can be like it was over there. It can actually be touching the ceiling, so everything's going to be connected via the bottom, unlike what it was before where they were connected via the top. Okay, let's bring this down a little bit. Now, just for safety reasons, we're going to double this up like this. Make it a little bit thicker than normal. Just in case something happens, I don't want the whole entire thing falling off. So we'll make it a little bit thicker. And then same with when we actually bring it down, we'll do the same thing. Alright, and there we go. The connection now exists. I made this a little wider than I usually did. And this is actually going to it's going to look a little nicer eventually. But I made this a little wider than before because first of all, the track's wider, so it had to be wider. And second of all, last time we had an issue where I think this was coming into contact with the sides, which we don't want to deal with that again. So hopefully we won't have that issue this time. All right, now for the fun part. This is where it separates from the last build, and this is where we're going to be adding the pivots. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have one pivot on the front and one pivot on the back, which are going to pivot our front wheels and our back wheels, our front and back side wheels. And the side wheels are going to be on this, not on this piece right here, on this top one right here. Okay, so pivots, or pivot pieces, I guess. We need to find the center, which I think is right here. Looks about right. It could be right here. I don't actually know. We should count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's put one on the 10th one. 10. So we don't lose our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then how many are in between this? Wait, no, there's got to be a center. I must have counted wrong because look, there's a center right here. So there's got to be a center somehow, unless I goofed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How the heck? Aha! Okay, I found where I screwed up. Let's break this piece right here. So where I screwed up was I counted incorrectly when it comes to these pieces. And so this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out, whereas this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out. So what I need to do is I need to bring this one in one. And I'm glad I caught this before we did anything else. Now the reason I need to do this, and it's so important, is because the pivots need to be exactly centered because they pivot both sides. So they need to be centered, otherwise it's going to be weird. Alright, crisis averted. We now have an even sides. Can I stand on this yet? No. I made it just short enough so I can't stand on it yet. That was by accident. Okay, so we now have even sides. Crisis has been averted. Everything is good. Now let's bring these out. These are our pivots. We're going to bring them out a little distance. Probably up to maybe here. So kind of pretty far forward. And we're going to do the same thing for the back ones. I want to see how far I brought this one actually. Okay, so you're probably seeing these pistons right here and you're saying, oh no, pistons! Pistons tend to cause clang, and clang tends to cause builds to fly to a different dimension. Well, don't worry, the pistons aren't actually going to be activated. All they're really doing is serving as a way for the wheels to pivot. So hopefully clang does not decide that that it's worth his time, but we'll see. Oh, let me put, before I do that, let me put some actual power on this thing, because if I do not, then those pivot things are going to start going crazy. I need 20 power cells. Do we have them in here, perchance? I don't know if we would have brought power cells with us. Why am I flying away? What was that? Game. What is this? What is happening? Why am I floating? Okay, that was weird. Alright, random thing Space Engineers does on the fly. Okay, we need to go and grab some stuff. Some power cells. Power cells. Okay, things are looking good. Now let's bring, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this piece out to about this distance. Maybe the one before it. To about, yeah, that's fine. So about that distance, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we'll do one final pass with the ship to weld all these pieces in. So I'm not too worried about welding quite yet. One more maybe? Okay, I think that's even. Let me count though, just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How the heck come that's not even? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So if I do 12 on this side though, that would be way out there. That's like all the way out there. Did I miscount the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What the heck? Oh, I'm dumb. I am dumb. Dumbness. Dumbness has struck. This is the center. Not that. Wait, no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 1 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's an 8. Okay. 9, 9, 10, 10.
That's the center. I was dumb. Okay, so this is looking good. We've got our pivot right here. We've got our second pivot right there. Those are basically just going to turn slightly at about that angle right there. So this angle is where those pivots are going to turn. And we might even lock them so they can only turn at that angle. Compared to the rest of the ship, so that they don't like fly back and hit this stuff. Which they will. That's what happened in my little testing world. How the heck? Why is my character floating, man? I can't like land on this properly. Can I land on the ground? Yeah, I can land on the ground, but then when I go on this, look at this. It's like the grid has no clue what to do. It's like, bro, why am I supposed to collide? Are you supposed to keep you here? Look at that. Oh my god, I can't even walk. It's like ice. Okay, here's the concept. I want to try it out before we weld anything in, before we change anything up. I want to try it out just like this. Now, we're going to need to double this up. So instead of having just the one layer right here, we're going to need to have a second layer as well going all throughout the train tunnel because this wheel needs something to connect to. So we're going to have to do that somehow. But for the time being, let's just do it on a couple of these. We'll just do something like this. And in fact, I think I can move this. Can I build you guys up? If I can build these guys up, I should be able to remove that top piece. Yeah, let's remove this. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, and I should be able to disconnect this as well. Alright, it is now set up, I think. I really hope that might actually cause problems. Temporarily. Temper voice crackly. Temporarily, let's remove this. We'll re-add it if we remember. Okay. Just so that we don't, like, crash into it as we go, because that's kind of cutting it close. I'll remove it up here as well. Okay. Everything else is good. Let's get a cockpit on here, and we'll see about trying this thing out. It's not really centered, but it's fine. Alright, unfortunately it's very difficult to see in third person with this thing. I can't, like, since the rail's on top of us, we can't, like, look up to see what's going on. So that's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and go into our K menu and let's mess around with some wheels. Now, these are on the pivot, so I know that these right here are the left and right ones, so I can call this one wheel pivot front, I guess. And I can do the same for this one right here. And then I know that these ones are all top wheels. Okay, so with those named, it makes it very easy to mess around with stuff. So these wheels, I don't want them to steer or propulse because these are the pivot wheels. They'll be a little weird if they do any of that. Someone said I should try keeping air shock on, so sure, let's try it. The strength of these wheels I want to keep at a pretty hefty amount. Not too much, but not too little. Height offset is good. No, height offset's bad. I want them to, because if you look... Oh, that was sketchy. If you look, the height offset was all the way over here. I just moved it closer to the center. And they're not actually touching, but I think that's fine because we only need them to guide us a little bit. That's really close to that. I don't like that, but that's probably because those wheels are aren't exactly their height. So let's go to the top wheels and say that you guys shouldn't steer, first of all, but you guys should have a pretty high strength. There we go. Okay, I think everything is fine. Now the thing with this design is that when I was testing it on my creative world, which is how I test little changes like this, so I don't have to build it all like this. When I was testing it before, in order to go backwards, you had to have the second pivot. So we might be able to go forward, but not backward. But we'll see. Let's try this out. Oh, it's doing weird stuff right now, isn't it? What is going on? Are all the wheels doing their own different thing? I guess it's hard to see because yeah, what the heck? You know what? Things are a bit weird with the grid. Let me go ahead and save the world and reload it. Let's see if that has solved our issue. Let's hop in here. Keep in mind I can't, unfortunately. Actually, maybe we can look. We can kind of just barely look. I'm trying to see if those wheels are going the same direction. Oh my god, this is painful. This is painful indeed. Oh, why camera are you so annoying in Space Engineers? I think it's fine because we are going in a nice at a nice right here. Oh, one more thing I need to do. Okay, I need to go in here and I need to go to our rotors and I need to say, at least for rotor 5, which was no, for both of them actually. I need to say, give you guys 0 torque or very little, like barely any. And I think that's what we want to do. Okay, let's do it. This is gonna be interesting. We're gonna move. We're gonna keep going a little bit. Ah, look at that. Look at that. You see? It's turned itself to align with the corner. Oh, this is a pain to look at, but look, it is working. It's actually working very smoothly. Like, it's not even having a well, I say that. Oh, and it becomes very dark. Sorry about that. That would be... Oh, we're gonna hit that. Sorry about that. That would be because we have no lights over here. But yeah, that actually did work pretty well. And I think it's a combination of these swivel wheels providing us a nice smooth transition for all those turns, as well as this right here being smaller than the previous one, which was like much larger. Okay, now let's try and go backwards, which is what I said would be very painful to do. with this particular setup without the back swivel wheels. Let's see if it works. Well, it's kind of struggling a little bit more, but it is doing it. See how our swivel wheels are kind of going all over the place? I have a fix for that I could try. Okay, so we are able to go backwards. That's pretty good. So this seems like a much better train all around than the first one that we built. But for the swivel wheels, since they're going flipping out and stuff, going backwards and stuff, we could try to add 2 wheels instead of 1, so just 1, 2, and that might solve that problem. But I'd like to get this wheel right, or this swivel right here also online. So let's see about doing that one. And then once we have that, that will be the main assembly for the thing, and then we can work on trying to get a gondola going. Alrighty, so I think we're ready to give our design another little try. We've got pivot number 1 up here ready to go, and I haven't really made any changes to that, although I did increase the torque a little bit on this pivot there, so it doesn't, you know, flop all over the place, hopefully. Same thing with the back one. I added this one in here, and I've set up the wheels and everything, and it all seems to be going pretty well. So currently, one of the things you guys were saying in the comments is that it might be a good idea to control this thing with thrusters instead of wheels, but we're going to save that as a possible solution if there is a problem from here on, because I think we should be fine with wheels. Okay, let's do a couple of tests. We're going to start by going kind of slowly into this corner and see how smooth it is. So let's kind of enter the corner. Okay, it's kind of bouncing us back a little bit. It's not really having a great time here with this. Interesting. Very interesting. I wish I could see what's going on up there. Let me see. Let's get out and let's give it a quick once over. Okay, it looks like this is fine. That is fine. It could be that these wheels are not going how they should be, maybe. These wheels could also be running into a little bit of an issue. Okay, we're going to the edge. Yeah, it's having a lot of trouble getting through that. Why? Where is the trouble? Is it that the wheel is running into the side? Because that could be it, I guess. And if that's the case, then we probably need to... Oh, we're running out of fuel again. Oh, you know what the issue is? I know what it is. So what I did is... Remember when we had, like, this one was a little bit off? And it was actually back one? That's what was causing the issue, is because the wheels were far back enough that this could make the turn. But now they're too close to each other. So what we need to do, the best case thing that we can do here is... Oh, this is not going to be easy, though. We need to somehow raise this whole thing. We can use pistons probably for that. And then we need to edit this a little bit. Okay. Alright, you guys raising us up a little bit? You are on this side. What about on this side? You are also a very slight amount. That's probably maybe enough, hopefully. Okay, we're just going to remove them back 1. Move both sides back 1. So, number 8, we're going to move you down. Make sure you're going the right way. Wheel cannot be placed, so it's not high enough. There we go. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh my god, what the heck? There we go. Come on, game. You gotta do me like that? Oh, do me like that? Okay, grab this piston right here. This is the one we want to go to, not that high. Okay, that's probably fine. Alright, that is enough room. That is easily enough room. Okay, grab that one. Technically, I could just add wheel to all these, but I don't want to. That's boring. Okay, so now they should be moved back 1 space, which gives us a little bit more clearance. Let's build them up. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Just to give us a wee bit of clearance. And that should help us move around this turn. Because I think what was happening was these wheels were getting stuck on the turn. Okay. Cut these back 1. And then place them in. Beep, boop. Haha! Aha! Okay, they both place. Good stuff. Now, we do run into a potential risk that we might have trouble when it gets a bit skinnier. When the track gets a bit skinnier, rather, over here. But, I guess we'll have to deal with that when we get here. Because I don't think it's the same width as this. Especially this one right here. I don't think that's the same width as a normal block. So it might be a little hairy once it gets there. Okay, let me set up the wheels and we'll give it another go. I think we're ready to try this thing out. It's about the same as it was before, although I think we have relaxed the limits on the rotors, so this will be interesting. But let's give it a go. Wheels are a bit farther apart. Yeah, okay, okay. Look at this. It's just going... It's going through it with ease. Well, okay, I say that. And what is happening here? What is the issue? We are locked against something. I don't think the wheels are the problem. They were before, but I think that's not the problem this time. Perhaps this? Although I kind of doubt that. But everything is a little bit farther back, so maybe. Okay, and yeah, actually, that must have been it, because we are very easily at the station now. Okay, welcome to the station. Fall down the hole. This is pretty cool. Let's see if we can do the return trip with ease as well. Alright, return trip. It's a bit bumpy. That it is. But it's actually not that bumpy, actually. It was at first, but that was smooth. That was super smooth, guys. I think it's finally time to make the actual gondola. And, guys, I've been recording for about 3 hours now. Can you believe that? Can you believe how long it takes to do something like this in survival? In creative, I would have had it out in like 20 minutes. But no, it takes a lot longer in survival. It's surprising. Okay, let's build our little gondola. And we'll call it an episode, probably. Next episode, we'll probably do more of the actual building of the thing. The main part of the problem was just getting the thing to work. Once you have a nice proof of concept, which is exactly what this is, a proof of concept, that like we have the hardest obstacle it's going to overcome is the curve. So once we have something that can actually go through it, which we now do, everything else becomes much easier. So that's just like any sort of development. Things become a lot easier once you know what the heck you're doing, right? Oh, you guys remember this part, right? Placing blocks after blocks. Uh-oh. Oh, I've just caused a clang. Break. There we go. Whew. I think I cut, like I got it caught in me or something. That was weird. Well, it stopped it from tilting to one side, so silver linings. Yeah, we have the welder ship. Why not use it, right? Although it'll be a little sketchy trying to get in here. Yeah, that's actually pretty helpful. Okay, so this is... Well, this is a car. This actually doesn't look that bad. This looks like a freight train car. Oops. If I wanted it to look like Half-Life, I could do like a window, or like windows on this side and then like a door on one of the sides over there. That might not look that bad. Now, how do I want it to... Actually, Half-Life had seats, didn't it? So it had like seat, and then it had like a door right here. If I remember correctly. This is based off memory. I haven't played it in forever. Again, I kind of shouted out Half-Life last episode. If you guys haven't played it, it's a really fun game, seriously. It took me playing like 1,000 hours of CSGO to finally be like, huh, maybe I should try the game that started it all. And so, yeah, that's how that happened. I know it didn't start at all. Like, there's Quake or something. There's something before Half-Life, but Half-Life was one of the big ones. Okay, this thing's looking pretty good. And I think it's looking pretty even, too. Like, it's not tilting anymore. Maybe we can work on some design later. Right now, I want to see if we can get it in its current state actually rolling. Because if we can, then that's a full train done. Or a full car, at least. I still don't know. I don't know if we want to have multiple cars. That might complicate things too much, considering how long it took to actually get this thing on the rails. But all right, how do we want it to go? I guess there are a couple options. We could either put a cockpit here, and for the time being, we might do that because that's just the easy plop and go approach. We could put a button where the button we'd have an increased speed button, a decreased speed button. That might not be a bad idea. I feel like the most fun would be the buttons, wouldn't it? You just press a button and it starts going. Or maybe you press a... buttons linked to timer blocks would be kind of cool. You press a button and the timer block tells it to go... Or maybe sensors that change the speed. Oh gosh, we're getting into some crazy stuff. For now, we're just going to go the cockpit route. Just the basic, just the simple route that doesn't involve that much. Just going to throw it down. We're going to break our cockpit that's up here. We don't need it anymore. There we go. We don't have the bulletproof glass, that's fine. And then we'll do the same with the battery. Oh shoot, but it'll get rid of our power cells. Okay, we'll leave the battery for now. And then let's see if this thing goes. We've already completed the circuit once. Just want to do it with a car. See how it lines up with the thing. This is smooth. Like, I'm not hearing anything crazy. This is really dang smooth. Okay, I'm hearing some stuff on the left right there. And it's trying to go backwards here. I don't know why. What we're going to do is we're going to press P to lock it into place and then see what's going on. Now we have a little bit of trouble getting out there, so we're probably going to have some sort of walkway. Why was it trying to go backwards? I don't know. Probably rotor's doing rotor things. So we are going to have to keep that in mind whenever we want to do something with this. But yeah, that's awesome. Maybe right here we add just a basic entrance or something. Can I walk on that? Oh yeah, you can kind of walk on it. Yeah, you can walk on it. That's pretty... Well, you can kind of fall sometimes. But no, yeah, that's fine. Okay, we finally got one of these things on the rails. I don't know how long this episode's going, but I mean, recording-wise, it's probably about 3.5 hours of recording, so definitely a longer one on my end, just to build this thing. But I think it looks good. I think it runs well. It's doing really well. Next episode, what we're going to do is we might try to customize this a little bit more, make it look even better, depending on what you guys say in the comments below. That's what I want, is you guys' suggestions on the design for this, because design's not really always my strong suit. And then next episode, we're also going to try to bore the tunnel headed that way. Now, we have a couple of options with the boring. We could either try the... No, how do we do that? Okay, the easy approach would just be to take a miner and just go straight to where we want to go and then come back with the track. The hard approach would be to actually grab this thing, put on a projector, put on a welder, and then have it actually weld its own track as it drills its own track. That would be really hard to do, though. But we could try it if you guys really want to see that. We could give it a go. The only problem that we'd have trouble with is getting this part to work. So... But yeah, if you guys want to see that, we'll try it. We'll give it a go. But I think that's where we're going to end it. So if you guys like the episode, please put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Space Engineers. Arrivederci.